Why do bad things happen to good people? And does anybody even care? I left some tissue in my trousers, now my laundry's all the dandruff, and that was everything I had to wear. Why do bad things happen to good people? I guess that life just isn't fair. I went shopping and forgot my bag for life, so I had to buy another one. Now I've got a pair, and that just can't be right when I've only got one life, and I've wasted so much time trying to get certain shoe shops. And although she seems quite nice, I'd rather not spend all night talking telephone tariffs with a lady who may be a robot. Why do bad things happen to good people? And yes, I know the worst things happen at sea, but how can I take any pleasure from such naval misadventures just because they are not happening to me? It feels mean, Schadenfreude I see. Why do bad things happen to good people, specifically me? Everybody's lips, it's agile. All the fun and funky kids use agile, cause when we mug the whole thing up, we call it minimum viable product. If you don't like it, tough luck, it's agile. We'll fake user acceptance tests with agile. Promise lots, deliver less with agile. No need to plan, no need to think, we'll fix it in a 2-week sprint. It won't work, but it will be quick with agile. We're talking shite, but we don't care with agile, because we have our meetings without chairs in agile. The project team say that'll do, we'll not be here for BAU. Let's raise a ticket to screw you with agile. Endemic in society is agile. No need to do things properly with agile. Just wank about with confidence, leave others to clean up your mess. In case you haven't guessed it yet, that's agile, and it works. To all my middle-aged pre-Monday moaners sitting on Facebook, demanding, where are all the protest singers? Mate, where have you looked? You won't find them on Jules, you won't see them on Magic, or performing on reunion tours of C86. They're out playing places you and I don't want to go, talking in a language that they don't want us to know. And that's okay, it's always been this way. We all have to learn, it's someone else's turn. It's someone else's turn. It's someone else's turn. It's someone else's turn. Here's an inconvenient truth. The toilet venues of our youth are more used to us now. They are gastropubs. Every scene must finish, the torch is never passed. They are all Luke Skywalker and we become their dad. And that's all fine, do everything at time. What we built must burn, it's someone else's turn. It's someone else's turn. It's someone else's turn. It's someone else's turn. Do you remember being young and hating old gigs? We couldn't stand their boring songs. We wanted our own music. We danced at our discos, not at theirs. And when their clubs closed down, we didn't care. But that's okay, they were in our way. They had to learn it's someone else's turn. And now today, the turntables have changed. As far as we're concerned, it's someone else's turn. 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 It's hard.
It's hard to be hopeful, very hard indeed, when stupidity keeps winning and love loses to greed, when a faith in human nature starts to feel at best naive. It's hard to be hopeful, it's very hard indeed. It's easy to be cynical, it's tempting to give up. When the worst thing keeps on happening, the best thing never does. When optimism's always wrong, dismiss it with a shrug. It's easy to be cynical, it's tempting to give up. Normally this is the point at which I'd say, come on everybody, everything will be okay. But I must admit that I'm not feeling it today. The only thing to do is stop watching the news. 'Cause every time I turn it on, there's some arsehole who says they talk to normal people and the normal people said whatever vile, hateful spite the arsehole has just said. So why don't I just switch off my television set and go out and do something less boring instead? Let's read a book, let's ride a bike, let's go on an open-top bus tour and see the sights. I've kept up with politics for my whole life, and all that it's achieved is to make me believe that it's hard to be hopeful, very hard indeed, with the waterfall of awful that pours out of my TV. But turning off the tap sometimes might give us space to breathe. It's hard to be hopeful, it's very hard indeed. It's hard to be hopeful, it's hard to be hopeful. It's hard to be hopeful, it's hard to be hopeful. Very hard indeed. Very hard indeed.
Another drill, and it's a fire drill. In all my life, I must have done a fire drill 1,000 times. In every single one of them, the biggest joke is the only fire you see is someone having a smoke in a fire drill. It's cold outside, the gilet wearing one's all wrapped up tight. I challenge your authority, I decline to join my whole department in a single file line in a fire drill. Use a says whenever we hear a bell, here's the fire drill. Before I go, I'll finish what I'm doing and collect my coat. It isn't an emergency, I'm taking the lift. The fire safety officer is taking the lift. Here's the fire drill. Fire drill. There are too many. How many are real fires? Not any. If there was a real fire, we'd get killed because we'd all assume it was another bloody drill, and it's a fire drill. I looked out of my window and saw a bag of shite that wasn't there last night. I said, hey shite bag, are you looking at me? It said, no, I'm just in a tree, just being me, hung in a tree. Oh, bag of shite, you are so luminous and blue, left hanging there when someone stopped near the poo. Too high to reach, too right to leave, a bag of shite in a tree. Full of good intentions with which such things begin. Someone scooped you up and then looked for a bin. I can't imagine how their plans went all awry. Were they called away, or did they die? Did a bigger shite fall from the sky? Oh, bag of shite, you are a mystery sucker turd. Your secret origin is one no one's heard. Too high to reach, too right to leave, a bag of shite in a tree. But what is this? The blue-bagged nemesis approaching the scene, dressed all in bright green. He's got one of them grabbers, a bit like a claw, with which he prods the bag of shite so it falls to the floor. With a dexterous wrist and a flamboyant flick, he sweeps the bag of shite into his regulation refuse sack. And as the van drove off, I thought I heard you cry, hear me now, a mortal man, all that lives must die. And though my time on earth was short and mostly full of poo, the same could very well be said of all of you. The same is true for all of you. Oh, bag of shite, you didn't half give off a sting, but while you hung next door, you gave me pause to think. Too high to reach, too right to leave, a bag of shite in a tree. When I'm entering a shop, there they are. When I'm leaving, there are even more. Disembarking a train, boarding a plane, people who stand in the door. It's the fact that they don't seem to care, that they're not the only people who are there. A bunch of gateway solipsists who think that no one else exists. People who stand in the door. It's not like they got an excuse. It's not a technology that is new. Since man emerged from the caves, we've been cursed with a plague of people who stand in the door. People who stand in the door. At least those who stop at the bottom or the top of the escalator might be let off if they're Cornish and they've never ever seen one before, 'cause they only used to have one escalator, though nowadays they've got a few more. Whereas everywhere you go from Penzance to Truro, there's about a million bloody doors. So let people who stand in the door consider themselves duly warned. Next time my way is blocked on public transport or a shop, I will not keep my counsel anymore. with people who stand in the door. I will pointedly point out that it's a door, and if that hint is blithely ignored, I will very clearly say you're standing in the way to people who stand in the door. People who stand in the door. People who stand in the door. People who stand in the door are the worst. People who stand in the door. Your frequent flights of fancy are, I'm sure, a great delight in the cafes and the salons you frequent. But I could live without the story of your cousin's neighbour's cat in a meeting about stationery procurement. Professionally, politely, might I ask you to stop talking? Please respect the meeting etiquette. Whatever race or class or gender, can we all kindly remember to stick to the agenda? Yes, computers can be difficult, but maybe Google it before regaling the estates team with your passwords. And I'm sure that it was tasty, but the cake you baked last Wednesday does not need to be minuted by the clerk. Now you've raised a valid issue which we already discussed back when you were monologuing about babies. The chances of success are slender, but I'll still ask you to remember to stick to the agenda. And now you're telling us you're busy with so many meetings and that they all seem to go on forever. If I could get a word in, then I might dare to suggest they'd be shorter if you stuck to the agenda. The agenda. The agenda. They'd be shorter if you stuck to the agenda. The agenda. The agenda. Please will you stick to the agenda? This is not your Netflix special, nor your new one-person show. If it was, it would only last an hour. I've a feeling I'll be leaving this interminable meeting only when my mind or laptop's drained of power. Professionally, politely, might I ask you to stop talking? Please respect the meeting etiquette. Whatever race or class or gender, can we all kindly remember to stick to the agenda? The agenda. The agenda. Please stick to the agenda. The agenda. The agenda. Please will you stick to the agenda? Please stick to the agenda. Peterborough was not the sort of place where you expected psychedelic shots to drop from outer space in a haze of paisley patterns that John Lewis couldn't know, playing records that you'd never hear on Herrywood radio. Arriving like a mission sent to summon the new age, came a wizard, his wife and his brother-in-law. They were Pete and Jane and Dave. The house on the borderland, was this Nirvana's name? After the house on the borderland, nothing would be the same, selling various ephemera of a countercultural kind. The house on the borderland blew my tiny mind.
Me and Paddy, Sanjeev, Steve and Millage in groups of 2s and 3s would make the lunchtime pilgrimage down to Gladstone Street to a strangely smelling wonderland where Pete purveyed a wealth of American comics 3 months before they reached newsagent shelves. There were fanzines that revealed to me new ways to read the world. Also Love and Rockets, Watchmen, Nexus and Dark Knight Returns. At the house on the borderland, my pocket money flew. To the house on the borderland, my dinner money too. From outside it might seem dingy, but it shone a rainbow light. From the house on the borderland into another life. Beyond a job at Pearl Assurance or career at Thomas Cook, from the ideas that we found, their new horizons open up. When I was working on my PhD concerning Doctor Doom, the text I analysed remind me of that ill-lit room. Shop shut down 10 years ago. Pete passed away. Peterborough has craft beer bars now and a vegan cafe. Marks and Sparks sell tie-dye t-shirts. Alan Moore is on TV. Superhero stories belong to the world now, not just me. No one needs to walk a mile to a special kind of shop to hear a view that's different or to smell a smell that's odd. But the house on the borderland is open in my heart, because the house on the borderland is where all this stuff starts, between the fence and the future, between conformity and not. The house on the borderland was more than just a shop.
Meteorites, the rise of the machines, wearable fracture nanotech, they don't bother me. Global warming, solar flares, I've read it all before. I've kept my DVD box sets behind the shelter door.
Cause I've read comics and I've watched telly, come the apocalypse, I'll be ready. I'll know exactly what to do, which does not include saving you.
If there's a zombie outbreak or if evil aliens land, I'll be fine, cause I've stocked up on water, bullets and cans. And when you beg for help, I'll say, didn't you used to teach on a mandatory all-day course that began with a little bit about me? And I bet you voted UKIP, I bet you voted Leave, I bet you think the Beatles are not as good as Queen.
Well, I've read comics and I've watched telly, come the apocalypse, I'll be ready. I'll know exactly what to do, which does not include saving you.
When it isn't Easter, I bet you buy hot cross buns. You sent X Factor to Christmas #1. You leave receipts in the cash machine. On a crowded train, you give your bag of seats. You don't send Christmas cards or give to charity. You have opinions about lossless MP3s.
I've read comics and I've watched telly, come the apocalypse, I'll be ready. I'll know exactly what to do, which does not include saving you. I've read comics and I've watched telly, come the apocalypse, I'll be ready. I'll know exactly what to do, which does not include saving you.
I am unwell and truculent
Because I've got a bad back.
I never knew what trouble meant
until I had a backpack.
I had hydrogel and a buprofen. I go through hell and back again
Before I'd have a backpack.
A backpack,
It really hurts, it hurts a lot, a backpack.
a backpack.
You should be grateful if you haven't got a backpack, a backpack.
You've got exams and you forgot to revise,
But you haven't got a backpack.
you can't find love however hard you try.
But you haven't got a backpack.
You're late for work because your gerbil died. You've been impeached because you lied.
But you haven't got a backpack.
A backpack,
I wish I hadn't tried to reach that shelf, a backpack.
a backpack.
It's helped my well-being and mental health, a backpack, a backpack.
Bring me my yoga mat, swivel my hips. Who cares if I look daft? It can't be worse than this. A backpack,
A backpack, a backpack, a backpack.
One day I'll wake up and I'll rise with ease,
I'll no longer have a backpack
like a lion running free.
when I haven't got a backpack.
You won't mistake me for an OAP when I remember to bend from the knee.
When I haven't got a backpack.
A backpack,
It really hurts, it hurts a lot, a backpack.
a
You
backpack,
should be grateful if you haven't got a backpack, a backpack. A backpack, a backpack, a backpack.
I've got a friend called Kenny. He's a really lovely chap. But his older brother Alan is a bit of a prat. So when I heard he was engaged, I knew that I'd be asked by Kenny, the best man, to help make up numbers for the stag. And so we met in Alan's local, roughly half his mates, half Ken's, and agreed on beers and curry on the same night as the hens. And just as we were toasting our decision, we were joined by some bloke that Alan knew from work who shouted, "Hello boys." He's a kind of total wanker who acts like he owns the pub and never gets his rounding, and his name was Nigel Grubb. Kenny's brother, Alan Stagton. Kenny's brother, Alan Stag. Kenny's brother, Alan Stagton. Kenny's brother, Alan Stagton. He asked what we were doing, so we told him of our plans. And he said that's far too boring for Al's last night as a free man. We said we'd got it sorted, but he laughed a red-faced laugh and said, "This will never do, lads. For Al, it must be Prague. We'll drink until we're senseless. We'll party through the night. Just leave it all to me, lads. I can sort us out cheap flights. I know the city well," he said. "I've even got a mate who runs a little hotel. This is going to be great." Next morning I'd forgotten what we talked of in the pub until I got an email that came from Nigel Grubb. Kenny's brother, Alan Stagton. Kenny's brother, Alan Stag. Kenny's brother, Alan Stagton. Kenny's brother, Alan Stagton. He said he'd got great news for us. The stag do was arranged. The hotel and the flight were booked. We leave in 7 days. The price was very slightly more than he had estimated, but as we had all been so keen, he'd gone ahead and paid it. He would be very grateful if we pay the full amount by close of play this evening into Nigel's bank account. I did not want to go, and it looked expensive to me, but apparently we'd voted by a huge majority. I couldn't let the side down, and who knows, maybe it would turn out to be fun after all, thanks to Nigel Grubb. Kenny's brother, Alan Stagton. Kenny's brother, Alan Stag. Kenny's brother, Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do. It was not fun. It was bloody awful. The flight took 19 hours. We had to change in Warsaw. Our hotel turned out to be a backpackers hostel located 5 miles out of town, next door to a brothel. We saw a lot of lovely bars, which we did not go into. We spent half the night queuing for an 80s retro disco. The other punters were all gits, the music was all shite. We paid €7 each for a can of Red Stripe. When Nigel suggested a strip club, I said, I'll just head back. Nigel went ballistic and said I was ruining the stag, so he made us all sing stag.
Stag, stag, stag.
He made us all sing stag.
Stag, stag, stag.
Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do. It was only 1 month later, when we met at the reception, that the bride informed us Nigel had never even had an invitation, and she got her calculator out while Alan was away and worked out that we'd all put in much more than Nigel paid. And she spoke to all the stags and found that all of us had been worried that we'd seem like spoilsports if we said we'd rather have a curry. Still, at least we stags had bonded, and the best man's speech was funny, and at least we'd only lost a weekend and, well, a lot of money. And at least we hadn't gone along with the whole country getting stuffed by a lying greasy bastard with a name like Nigel Grubb. Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do, Kenny's brother Alan Stag Do.
Lying here, hung over, last night to be raked over, a self-assessment of the cruelest kind. Analysis, intensive examination, forensic, but nothing truly awful comes to mind. Oh, let my hopes be buoyant, I wasn't too annoying. And I think I did okay, I think I didn't say too much and was too rude or could be misconstrued in the cold of light of day. I think I did okay. Those bombs, what I dropped, did they go badly wrong? Were people dead offended? Are there fences that need mending? Did I come across as sarcastic? Were my hugs all very enthusiastic? Did I swear too much or not enough? No, I'm sure I was insightful. I am always delightful. And I think I did okay. I think I didn't say too much and was too rude or could be misconstrued in the cold hard light of day. I think I did okay. Were my witticisms taken as criticisms? Did my breast stink? Do I owe someone a drink? Did that woman think I was staring? What on earth did I think I was wearing? Somehow I can't help thinking I used to be a lot better at drinking. I never was. Sod this for a game of soldiers. I'm not a teenager, I'm very slightly older. And I think I did okay. I think I didn't say too much or was too rude or could be misconstrued in the cold light of day. I think I did okay. I think I did okay. I think I didn't say too much or was too rude or could be misconstrued in the cold light of day. I think I did okay. I am always delightful.
If you can't be bothered to learn an instrument, at least learn the lines. If you can't be bothered to learn the lines, at least make it rhyme. If you can't be bothered to make it rhyme, at least make it scan. If you can't be bothered to make it follow roughly the same scanning system throughout, at least make the subject matter interesting. If you can't make it interesting, keep it short.